right, so I wanted to make a video about how to make friends because a lot of people out there on YouTube are jealous of our friendship.
Jealous?
Of us?
Jealous?
I don't mean jealous in a bad way, but they're like, you guys are such good friends. I wish I had friends like that.
No, you don't.
No, I hate all you fuckers.
Yeah, we're good friends.
No,
What?
There's
We're
a lot
good
of
friends.
There's a lot of hate though. A lot of hate between
Well,
us.
that's part of friendship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
true.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like a brotherly love kind of thing.
It's it's the good and the bad. You got to take it all.
See, it's not easy though. I mean,
What's not easy?
well, finding like it took a while to meet you guys. It really did. But I think we mentioned it in a video earlier on. We found people with like-minded.
Interest.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
think
we
it-
all wanted to be creative. We all wanted to make stuff and videos and cartoons.
I think that in the whole scheme of things, it is hard to find good friends. It's one of those things you can't force.
No, not at all.
You know?
No.
Okay, so what I want to get into is reasons to make new friends, because some people might say, well, I already have friends, I don't need to. So let me give you a couple.
Okay.
When I first moved to this town,
Yeah.
I knew one person, and they already had their social life. So I was really desperate to find friends. It took a long time. That's one reason. Two, I don't think one friend can fill all of your social needs.
And they shouldn't.
No.
They should. That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Nah, you
some
need more than
of you
one.
guys like football. But if you ask me to go to a football game
Hell
or to
no.
watch it,
Go
I'm
fuck
not
yourself.
interested.
You'll get a roundhouse to the head.
Number 3, success in achieving goals. Couple things can help you do that. Reading books or getting knowledge is one, but the other one is the people you meet.
Yeah, support.
Networking and having that network not only of colleagues but of friends.
And if these are friends, I'm sure people have had a situation where they're trying to get ahead in a business and a friend helps them. Or even on a social level, let's say you're a young couple with a kid. You make friends with another young couple and a kid.
Babysitter.
Now you can have, free babysitter.
Play dates and
ever since I've had a kid, I've added a lot of like parent friends to my roster.
And we like you because you have a truck. And if we have to move stuff,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am an asset to you.
And I'm worthless.
You put in flooring in my house one time.
That's true.
Yeah.
I did do that.
See?
Yeah. I got nothing out of you. I need
Wait,
to. I
you
need to get you to fucking move
Neebs,
some
you
shit
didn't pay
for
him?
me.
I remember bringing you gas one time when you broke down the side of the road.
Actually, you did.
All
you
right.
guys moved
Yeah.
me in and I wasn't even there once.
Actually,
That happened.
Yes.
that's very true.
Tell that
That
story.
actually happened.
Alice
such a-
planned a vacation during his move day. We all moved his crap while he was out having fun.
That's the worst thing
You know
ever.
what? Not we all. I remember I wasn't there, and I was going, that sorry son of a
I
bitch.
wasn't there either.
Neebs.
So when you get friends, don't get shitty ones like the rallies.
Oh, no, that was a,
Yeah.
that was
That's a good
one-off.
segue into our next discussion: how to get rid of your shitty friends.
That's it.
I
That's
apologize, and I have before.
So for those of you that are trying to make friends or want to make new friends, here's a list of tips I've put together that might help you do that.
Okay. This is
Can't
gonna
wait.
be interesting.
Tip number 1. You need to smile. Smiling, like when you meet somebody new, let's say you're at a bar, you're at a sports social outlet or something, you got that guy, what do you call it, Absro? RBF?
Oh yeah, resting bitch face.
That's it.
RBF.
Yeah. If you walk around with RBF all day,
Who the hell wants to socialize with you?
yeah.
I think some people like are born like that though.
Well, they
So
are.
they're-
Born
yeah,
with
it's
that
weird.
stupid face.
Yeah.
But be aware of it.
But I think it helps to look friendly. I've walked into a room sometimes and just someone will be smiling in the corner. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, it
Hey,
catches your
It's
attention.
magnetic.
Look at that person
It's
smiling.
magnetic.
friendly people.
Absolutely.
I want to be around that person.
Yep.
I'm amazed that I have any friends at all because I find myself looking at people that I shouldn't be looking at, and I've got like no expression on my face. And then after I've looked at them for like a couple of seconds, and then I look away, I realize what I did, and I go, "What the fuck is wrong with me?"
Yeah.
Like,
And
what's
you
wrong
got
with
an
me?
intense look too.
I do.
Yeah,
They're
I
gone.
do. Get the big ass eyes, man.
Yeah.
You got
I need-
Charles Manson eyes.
I need to wear sunglasses. I've
Yep.
got problems.
And your eyeballs are so big, it's not like people aren't going to notice you looking at them.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Your eyeballs
They
are so big.
They are.
How big are they?
Can you imagine how big my balls are?
I don't. Okay, moving on.
I
Moving
can.
on.
Okay.
Tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is learn people's names.
I'm fucked on this one too.
Yeah, I'm
I'm bad
fucked
with
on
that.
that, man. I'm
God.
bad. I am
But listen,
bad.
if you went to let's say right now you were in need of new friends, you just moved somewhere new, or you just want new friends in your life.
Yep.
If you went to a social event and you go, okay, while I'm here, because a lot of times you'll shake somebody's hand, they'll say, hey, I'm Eric, and then 2 seconds later you don't remember.
But you have to do something to make you remember.
Yeah, if you're like, I'm here to make friends,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. So you go, hello, and you go, what's your name? He says, Eric. Instantly you go, do I know any other Erics? You start visualizing.
Do I know any other?
Do you know any other Erics?
Perfect. Okay.
Now say it clean.
Do you know any other Erics? If you do, does that sound better?
already lost him, man. You already lost him.
I'm keeping it all in there.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
But listen, when I do that, when I visualize another Eric I know standing beside that person,
Yeah.
I remember it forever.
Yep.
See, my problem is I will say, "Hey, how you doing? What's your name?" And then I get distracted, of course, and then I realize I forget it already.
Now
And
you're
then-
too embarrassed.
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I have
all
no
right.
shame.
Oh, that's
and I
right.
say immediately, "I'm sorry. I forgot your name. Could you say it again?"
Takes me a couple times.
And then
Yeah.
I forget it again.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm concentrating on their face. I don't know what it is.
So that's
yeah.
one angle you could play.
Yeah.
Because this person eventually would have sympathy for you and go, oh, bless his heart.
Is dumb as
I
shit.
like
He
him.
can't
Oh, bless
remember
Yep.
anything.
Yep.
A lot of
Exactly.
the people say back to me, I have the same problem.
Yeah,
but
they
anyway.
do. They
But
do say it back like
let's say you went in and you go, oh, Eric, great. And then you go, oh, hey, Leslie, this is Eric. And then you start using their name. People
Eric,
like to hear
Eric.
their name.
Just keep
They
saying
like
it to him. Eric, Eric, Eric,
That
Eric.
gets weird.
Eric.
That gets
Eric,
weird.
Eric, you want some cheese?
Now you don't have
Eric,
a
do you want a
friend.
soda? Hey,
This is Eric, guys.
I'll give you a hand job. Eric, come over here. Eric likes hand jobs. Let's give Eric a hand job. Would that
That'll work. Oh,
think-
you
I
would
think
not
maybe.
forget.
Okay?
I remember
Yeah.
Eric now.
Dude, that fucking weirdo over there, Eric, he likes hand jobs.
When you meet somebody at a party and they remember your name right away,
Yeah.
does that make you feel a little bit special? Maybe just a touch?
Yeah, no, it does.
People that are good at that, I envy, but I
Yeah.
just know that I have that weakness. So
But
I
you
try
don't.
to.
You don't have that weakness.
No, I don't
It's like
because
saying I
will
I'm
do
not
some
good at
association.
push-ups. If you did a bunch of them, you
No,
would
I
be.
get it.
All right, let's pretend there's an invisible person right here named Jason.
Okay.
And instantly you go, okay, Jason from the Friday 13th movies. Got the
Yeah.
mask on
Yeah.
and the knife. That's Jason.
Name association.
You're going to remember that name for the rest of the night or even for the rest of your life.
Like if he was holding a butter knife, it'd be even more helpful.
There you go. All right, my next tip is be interesting.
How do you fake this one?
Okay, you don't. Well, I've met people that have no interest in things.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
do you like music? No. Do you like gardening? No.
But you know they like something.
They got to. So if you don't have any friends, maybe you need to look inside and go, well, do I like things? If you don't like anything, it's going to be hard for someone. It doesn't have to be anything cool. It could
No.
be weaving
Yeah.
or stamp collecting.
Or like Eric,
Those
you
aren't
could like
cool
hand
things?
jobs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eric and his hand jobs.
Yeah, see, you know what's funny is that totally, I never would have remembered
Now you-
that
now you
if
remember
it wasn't
Eric.
for Eric and hand job the
Yeah.
discussion.
See? You
Yep.
remember Eric? You remember my invisible friend over here?
Yeah.
Jason.
That's right.
You remember,
It's working already.
You remember New Year's, our friend's brother was there and he was like kind of like, quiet off in the corner and stuff like that. We were talking to him.
Yep.
The second that gardening came up,
He lit up, didn't
holy
he?
shit did he.
He knew everything about
It
gardening.
was wonderful to see how excited he was, and he probably would have never brought that up on his own, but he should have. I mean, I don't garden, but it intrigues me.
So this is my point. If you don't have any hobbies and you want to meet people easier, start taking interest in things, and it could be gardening. Because once you go into a crowd of new people and you start, talking, you got to have something that you're passionate about to connect with someone.
Yeah.
Let's move on to don't be a complainer.
Nobody likes a
I
complainer.
hate complainers.
Some people, that's
Don't get me
all they
started.
fucking
Yeah.
do.
Especially when you first meet, when you meet somebody new, you want to be positive.
Yeah.
Complaining or revealing things you're struggling with, that's for a
Your,
close friend.
your first impression is actually draining someone
Yeah.
if you're complaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your impression. This person that I'm seeing just makes me go, ugh. You feel like shit when you see them. And why would you want to be around that?
Well,
You wouldn't.
yeah, positivity and negativity are both contagious. It's up to you as a person to decide what you want to be around and what you want to attract.
Misery loves company. So
Exactly.
maybe
Exactly.
two complainers would be, two peas in a pod.
I would even say, even if you're not looking for friends, pay attention to your thoughts throughout the day and the things that you say, and keep track of how many of those things are positive or negative. If you're starting to, you might even notice it. You might be complaining all day long. People get tired of hearing that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just horrible for you as
It
an
is.
individual. So, aside from getting friends, I mean, you're not going to want to be around yourself.
You're reminding yourself to stay down.
Yeah. So, you need to very much stay positive as much as you can. We realize shit gets, shitty sometimes, but try to stay positive.
Yeah, as a dad, I have no time for complaining or crying in my house, considering how much worse those kids could have it.
Yeah, I could be their father.
But yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
actually,
fucked up.
You're not?
The weird thing is that you could be because you've had sex with my wife.
One of them definitely is mine.
Yeah.
But
The one with the
that's
big
okay.
eyes.
Yeah. With the big scary eyes, yeah.
The one that was born with a tattoo and
Yeah.
big eyes.
You ready for another tip?
Tip
I
8.
am.
Sure.
All
Tip me,
right.
baby.
I think people that want to meet friends should have social routines.
It's like I have a bowling league. Would that be like I don't have one,
Yeah.
but that would be a social
If you
routine.
did that, and I
Yeah.
think the routine part is important because if you go bowling once, you're not going to make any friends, or you might, but
Right.
Yeah.
if you went every Sunday, eventually,
You get more comfortable with each other.
yeah,
you know.
you're going to get more comfortable. You're going to hear more stories. You're going to hear, oh, I didn't know this guy likes to skateboard.
Yeah.
I've met this guy 20 times. He never mentioned that.
He's 82. I would have never guessed it.
Yeah, and if you're a skateboarder too, it's like, okay, well now tell me. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me this weeks ago?
Now, on a side note, Simon, I got really excited when you said that you were in a bowling league. I was like, oh, I want to be in a bowling league with you,
I do
dude.
too.
I was in a bowling league as a teenager.
I've been in a couple.
and it's fun.
Yeah,
You
myself.
didn't know that about him, did you?
No.
And we've known
Wow.
each other for years. And for years, I've always actually wanted to do it, but I always said I didn't have enough time. And now that I have kids, I really don't have any fucking time. But volleyball is my favorite sport. And there's a place in town here.
Yeah.
There's a couple now that
are.
they have leagues. And I've been, oh, you know what, one of these days, oh, maybe I'll do it. And then I'd hurt my back. And I'd be like, oh, I can't, whatever. I make excuses. And I'm lucky I have social routines. I do have other ones. But if there's something out there that you know, stop putting this shit off like I did for many years. Just go out and do it, especially if you're single.
And see, volleyball, we all, my friend Karen, I met through volleyball, and she's been a great friend for years, and she's become
Yeah.
all of our
Oh,
friends
she's
since
great.
then.
Yeah.
And had I not had that social routine of playing volleyball, never would have met her.
Yep.
We should start playing volleyball on Neebs Gaming.
Neebs bowling.
Yeah, Neebs bowling too. Put GoPros on our heads, just go play bowling.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing where I was saying you need different friends, because I'll go drink beer, but I don't want to bowl.
There's
every
like,
week.
yeah, it doesn't all have to be sports. Like I know downtown at one of the establishments I don't live too far from, they have beer church every Sunday.
Beer church.
Beer church.
I'm sorry? What?
It's called beer church. You
Okay.
come and they've got a few different beers
Right.
that are like they're kind of focused on, but everyone tries these beers. It's just a social, continuous event every
Great.
Sunday. So
That's
there's
kind of what
things that
church
are,
is anyway. I mean, church when growing up, like aside from the religious thing, it is a social thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's a reason to get
social
together.
routine, yeah.
it's a reason to get together with your fucking community every week.
My next tip is some people may be socially awkward and find it hard to talk to people and make friends. So this next tip is just practice talking, because you're going to go out and people are going to think you're weird when you talk if you don't do it a whole lot. But you got to do that to get up to a comfortable social level. So if you're like, I hate going to parties because I never know what to say. I'm going to go and I'm going to say something weird. Well, just do it.
Yeah,
just,
say it.
Just go be weird as much as you can.
okay.
Eventually,
Own it. Yeah. just
yeah,
Be fucking weird.
and don't feel conscious about it. Just like keep talking, and if you're talking about things you're interested in, it's not going to be a problem. But keep talking till you get comfortable with it. You will get better at talking.
but also let them talk too. Nothing worse than someone
That's
who
a big tip.
is
Yeah.
always
Don't
the one
get ahead
talking.
of my tips. That's my tip.
Oh,
later
son of a
on.
bitch!
You're
Come
blowing
on.
it.
We don't see your fucking list. How is he supposed to know?
Yeah.
He's got that screen.
But you
angled
go ahead and
and
cover
everything.
that.
But and you could practice on people that you don't like give a shit about, like the person who's like the cashier at at the grocery
it's
store,
true.
and just get weird with it, and it's okay. That's
is.
fine. Somebody at the gas station, you're pumping your gas, and somebody across the way could be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
That's what my buddy Cheeseburger from Australia used to say. He's like, I make it a point to start a conversation with everybody I come in, whether it's the cashier or whatever. Just try to think, how can I keep this guy talking for another second?
It's great.
That's a great way to practice.
And it makes their
There you
day
go.
in a lot of cases.
So, Dallas, would you like to bring up the next point?
Listen.
Yeah, don't talk too much.
No.
Balance the conversation.
I mean, nothing is more selfish than to be the only one talking. Mm-hmm. And people don't. It's the equivalent of complaining almost. Like after
Yeah.
someone's just talk about themselves.
I got a neighbor like that, man.
Oh, it's the worst.
It drives me fucking
And they're not
crazy.
even aware of
They
it.
don't stop talking. And
Like
they
I
complain.
like her. She's a nice lady, but yeah, once she gets going, there's no conversation happening. It's
Yeah.
her telling me about
You
her
could, you
day.
could leave and she wouldn't even know.
Yeah,
Right.
people hate that. That guy I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
He was kind of the guy that made me think I need to make this video.
Yeah.
Because he started talking
Yeah.
and talking and talking, and even when you tried to interject something quickly, he'd answer it quickly and then keep talking.
Yeah, that's
And then
what
he
they-
got to the complaining part about how his life was so bad. And I'm like,
It's a
this is
segue.
why your life's going bad. So talk, and then when you realize you've been talking for a bit, stop and say, well, tell me about what you do. Tell me about your
And
weekend.
then really listen.
Yeah.
Don't pretend to listen. Really listen. Soak in what they have to say because they have.
next tip.
Bitch.
Wow.
You son of a
Oh,
bitch.
asshole.
Oh my God, it's important.
Duralius makes a bunch of friends. He's good at this.
Yeah, and I'm a socially
You are-
anxiety
you're a
person.
socialite.
And
You are a
anxiety is not a
socialite.
word, but I have social anxiety.
You would
and
never
I
know
fight
that.
it.
Yeah,
all
you
the time.
you wouldn't.
No,
you
you
don't.
Fight it. I feel weird. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I think
can
everybody.
fight it.
I have a little bit of that too. Like if I'm around people I don't
Yeah.
know, I shrink in a little bit. But
My dad-
I'm like you. I try to fight it.
My dad's grown into like a hermit.
Really?
Yeah,
And
and
I
I
think-
refuse to.
Does he not go out much?
He doesn't go out
And
at
see,
all.
that's like my parents live in the mountains now.
Yeah.
Where there's just not many people around. So
Yeah.
I'm afraid, like, I think it's a practice thing. It's
Yeah.
like if you don't exercise, you atrophy.
Absolutely.
If you don't go out and socialize,
Yeah.
you're social. Because that happened to me. Like, I had spent so much time animating that I felt like my social skills got rusty.
They did.
You got to get out. Yeah. You
We
know.
we couldn't deal with you.
Oh man, he was so mad.
Ugh.
Honestly, I don't know how you guys even deal
Oh,
with
you
me
drank
at
a
all, 'cause
beer
I
on
have
Sunday?
like half of the bad things that you're saying. Like today, I've got them.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You're the most social out of all of us.
Yeah.
are,
No, when we
man.
go on trips,
The most
I'm
likable.
impressed with your ability to strike up a conversation with anybody.
Yep.
I talk too much.
Nope.
And
you
I've
don't.
gotten
I
better.
said that earlier.
I know, and but I've gotten better because I have,
Joking.
and without people telling me. But sometimes they did tell me by not talking to me anymore. But anyway.
All right. Well, let's move on to this next one. That
I think I already covered it, right?
It's be interested in others, but you have to be genuinely interested in what the person's saying.
Listen to them.
Listen and process it. Don't be thinking about what you're
What you're
going to
gonna
say next.
after.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Think
A lot of
about
those
what they're
people.
saying. Like we were saying earlier at that party we went to, and that guy brought up gardening, how he knew just so much about growing things.
Yeah.
Young guy. You
Yeah.
never would have thought he'd have
No.
been into gardening. But then when you become interested and you go, okay, you're in the garden, that's cool. Ask more. Tell me
Yes,
something about
be
gardening.
inquisitive.
Yeah.
What can you do to your soil to make it grow better? Tell me what's a common problem that people
And then
make.
What
you-
kind of
you-
stuff do you grow?
Yeah, you see in his face like the appreciation, and he gets more and more excited, and all of a sudden you've got a bond there. He's never going to forget that you genuinely cared about what he had
You
to
got
say.
a buddy.
You do.
You got a buddy.
And at the
They're good to
same
have.
time, you might actually gain a real interest in what they're interested
do.
in.
I thought you were going to say you might actually get laid.
No. Well, that too.
Yeah, this
Hey.
goes
That's a good
All
one.
right.
not with
Yeah.
him. I mean, like,
Well, it could
you
be with
never,
him.
It's
Whatever
whatever.
you're into.
Okay, it got weird
hey,
there
man.
for a second.
Yeah.
Don't ask, don't tell.
When I talk to people and they tell me something they're interested in, two things that I like to do is like figure out what can I learn from this person or what can I offer them? Maybe I know a guy that's in the gardening supply and I can connect people.
Yeah,
So what can I learn and what can I offer?
Yeah.
sure.
Cool.
We touched on this a little bit earlier, but it was just like, don't worry. If they don't like you, just be yourself. If you don't click with someone, that's okay. This might not be a friendship get ready to happen. This might just be
An encounter.
an encounter. But when you do this enough, you're going to find that person that you're friends with. So don't go into every conversation going, I hope this guy ends up being my friend.
Yeah, don't push it.
Yeah.
Don't try to force it.
Right?
Because sometimes it may take, like you were saying, if you're bowling with someone for weeks and weeks and weeks, it
Yeah.
takes time.
Yeah.
So don't get all weird and nervous. And I know it's just a friend. It's not like you're trying to get a date or
Right.
something.
The friendships have to kind of naturally
They happen naturally.
happen. Yeah.
These last tips are bad. They're like all the same.
Buy them
yeah.
a car.
This last one just says give it time.
Well, that kind of just goes with
Yeah,
that.
that kinda-
we touched
yeah.
on that. We touched on
I
that.
mean, 'cause
You're not going to go out and socialize with somebody and
You're my best
come
friend.
Home, yeah, come home with a best friend. Yeah. It's simple. Just give it
You know,
time.
yeah, you
Yeah.
plant the seed, let it grow.
Yeah.
If you're in those social routines, like I said, and you're with someone week after week, good chance one of those people is going to become a friend. Like Anthony in there.
Yeah.
I probably would have never went to a party and became friends with Anthony, but he's been here.
He won't leave.
So we've been working with Anthony for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And Anthony, I consider you a friend now because you've been around long enough.
You're our friend, Anthony.
Oh, thank you guys. I feel loved. I love you too.
Get off
Shut
my-
the fuck up!
Don't you dare
Back to
pitch your
work, you
shit.
son of a bitch.
Don't you dare pitch your shit.
Yes, sirs.
You got to pick my mic. I like you the least, and you got to pick my fucking mic.
Did you feel nose nose
This fucking
breath on your
hot,
ear?
Stinky
Now it
breath
just
on my
smells like
fucking neck. You're not my friend, you dick.
See? Yeah, friends make fun of each other.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. I'm just kidding. He's my friend.